Nope. Fuck Christ. Fagus. It started the stream cut.
Hello, my handsome.
Shut up.
Most Canadians are unaware that they can hold physical gold in their RRS.
I don't know what I'm capable of. Shut up. Shut up. It's over. It's over, dog. It's over. So damn, dude, 3 times in one day.
All right, make me look good.
What's that? 6 plastic bags? Fucking polluted. Fucking shit. What happens if there's a situation where there's no plastic bags in the house? You would use that? Okay, that's not an option. Nice, dude. I'm not saying it again. Raise your fucking mic volume, you piece of... Have you ever had restless leg syndrome? It's like when you're lying down but you can't keep your legs still. You just have to like move them. It's so fucking annoying.
I have the walker's coordinates. Darth Gravis wants them blown to pieces.
Gladly. Imperial Bomber Command never disappoints. My lord, I'm transmitting the coordinates to my bombers now. They're ready to strike Order's walkers at your command.
Excellent. Hit them now, Major.
Pardon me, Lord Gravis. It's your apprentice. She's taken Imperial forces, launched her own attack against Commander Order.
Thank you, Captain. We'll deal with her. Thana's volatility is both a strength and a weakness. She'll destroy much, but she can't defeat Order alone.
I hope he gives her some bruises for me.
Every punishment she suffers will only increase her fury and her strength. You'll find Order's base in an old purification facility. Tear down his defenses and find my rogue apprentice. Only together can you slaughter the Republic's leader.
Order's offensive will soon come to an end.
This will be a historic victory for the Empire.
You gave me a fright. I thought you were here for the environmental reports. Still, I'm glad you stopped by. The Republic's efforts to clean and recolonize Terrace are accelerating, but I found a way to stop them. I just need someone to release the dangerous toxins in...
Your accent. You don't sound Imperial.
The Empire welcomed me when the Republic accused me of war crimes. But my past isn't important. Terrace's past is. Before the Empire bombarded Terrace, the Chemworks was a prosperous factory full of deadly chemicals. Those chemicals are still there.
I have more
You'll regret not helping me, just as the Republic shut.
Do you require medical attention?
well. Be well.
At your service, sir.
Shut up, cunts. Nice. Up your fucking car. Nice, dude. Buy a new fucking headset. A new fucking... You fucking piece of shit. Fucking faggot. Don't try to vote for Trudeau again, you fucking liberal huck.
You and me? Getting good.
What are you doing here? Order's mine.
I'm honored. The Empire is sending its best to hunt me down. The Republic will not fail here. Terrace will rise again.
Time's up. You're dead.
Come out, men. Let's finish this scum. For the Republic! You can't destroy Terrace. The Republic's too strong.
Oh, my head. Cheap trick, Order. If you don't kill him, I will.
So long, Order. Your Republic friends will join you soon.
I'd have slain him myself if you hadn't butted in.
Sorry it didn't work out.
I'll get over it. Taris is crawling with Republic troops, and I'm ready to break bones. Goodbye, good riddance.
I killed Order. Thano was out cold for the entire fight.
The Republic will be shaken by his death. Thana contacted me after your skirmish. She was eager to report the details of her bloodbath. Unfortunately, you failed to top her body count. You're lucky she isn't here to gloat.
If she were here, I'd teach her who's the better fighter.
In that case, I'm glad she's on the loose. With Order dispatched, I can finally focus the Empire's might on demolishing this wretched planet. The Republic's making a stand in the old sewer system. We must crush their pathetic operation to proceed. Speak to Melkor Din at our outpost. Help him slay the sewer's mutated denizens and drive out the Republic. And watch out for Thana.
Getting good.
Mola, my dear. Don't lie. Tell me about the rat ghouls.
I'm just a xenozoologist. I've told you everything. Ah!
Excuse me, sir. Busy breaking another prisoner. I'm Melkor Din, Chief Interrogator. Lord Gravis told me you'd come to stop the Republic and our rat ghoul threat.
It's hard to say without knowing more.
We need to destroy the sewers and drive the Republic out. Unfortunately, this is rat ghoul territory. Those vicious mutants swarm the sewers, tearing apart everything and anyone that gets in their way.
Serves you right. Sith created the Rackles to begin with.
Mola's tongue is too free. But she's correct. An ancient Sith engineered the plague to turn humans into rat ghouls, then unleashed it on Taris. The disease survived the planet's destruction. Now rat ghouls run rampant, and the Republic's herding them against us.
There must be some way to turn the rat ghouls against the Republic.
That's what we've been working on. Mola's been kind enough to tell us about a reactor the Republic's decommissioning. She claims they direct the rat ghouls by releasing trace amounts of toxic waste from the reactor core. This sends the enraged beasts running for safety, right into Imperial territory.
It's true. I saw their aversion to reactor leakage when I studied rat ghoul migration patterns. Exposure produced adverse effects.
Tell me how I wipe those monsters out, or I'll feed you to them.
Please. There's only one thing I can think of, but it hasn't been tested.
This isn't academic research. Take your best guess, or it will be your last.
During the studies we performed, radiator leakage drove them mad. Poison the rat ghouls, and they'll turn on everyone. You, us, each other.
Perfect. We blow up the chemical stashes, poison the lot. The rat ghouls will be too busy feasting on Republic flesh to run our way.
If the chemicals don't enrage the rat ghouls, I'm coming back for you.
I never lie about my work.
That may be, but I'm not done with you yet.
Cipher. I think we have our lead. I'm receiving faint signals from an old Teresian transport station. Were I a betting man, I'd say our bio-research lab, our Jedi's next target, is in there.
Any idea where Sazin is now?
None. And I can't even say whether she'll visit the facility personally. That's where your field expertise comes in. I look forward to your findings.
You and me, we're getting good.
Used to sneak around the transport stations on Brental. High traffic hours. You could really miss people. Let's talk when you get the chance.
left Tasla because I asked. You told your kin to fight for the Republic and be paid in land and weapons. You've done well. But I swore I wouldn't abandon you on that festering pus hole of a world. My chosen bear my message, and I'm coming to Terra soon.
Bargononua, utatiachanichu, kuya mayastupa.
You and me? Getting good. Big one up ahead. Nice horns.
You are not to be here. You are not welcome.
You must be Kai Sazon's henchman.
You speak her name. You are not worthy. Die! Striking at the servants of Kai Sazon, you have sealed your fate. I may die, but she will never be defeated.
I never wanted a fight. Talk to me about your master.
Kai Sazon saved my people. She was only a Padawan when she came to Tasla and slew the spine dragon of Mdweshu. It was she who brought the Nikto to Taris. We swore our lives to her, and I will tell you nothing.
You'll talk, sooner or later. Improvised interrogations are my speciality. For example, this is a bioresearch lab, isn't it? What do you think would happen if I injected you with these chemicals?
You would not.
I bet he would.
Of course, I should probably test the dosage on your men first.
Enough! I will not. I will not allow that. We came to find the secrets of the ultra-wave transmitter, a machine crafted by Nassan Godera. Its signals are the song of the Rakuls. It controls their colonies. When it is ready, they will be her army.
Your master is a lunatic. You do realize that?
Her mind is not mine to know. The ultra-wave transmitter was never completed. That is our task. The three chosen of Kai Sazon, each with our own mission. I was to obtain Raku biological research from this, the laboratory of Dr. Durant. The chosen Bokeh seeks data on colony movements. The chosen Fentar seeks a Republic scientist, Dr. Iana Sel, to complete the device. They will triumph soon.
What about the Jedi? Tell us where to find her.
I have told you of my brothers so they may meet you in battle, but I will tell you nothing more.
Look for your brothers on the other side.
Let's get out of here. Then maybe call for reinforcements.
This is Legate to Chance. We have a situation with Kai Sazin.
Chance here, sir. I'm listening. Building a Rat Ghoul army with the Ultrawave transmitter? Why? She has 2 more sets of followers then. One going after this Republic scientist, one after the Rat Ghoul colony data. We'll have to split up to stop them both.
My mission was to find proof of Kai Sazin's corruption. I found proof. I'm done.
You've seen proof, but nothing admissible. And Master Koth's contacts on the Jedi Council are cautious. I'll try to find our scientist before the Nikto do. If this Dr. Sel works for the colonists, I should have a shot. You need to figure out where they'd go for Rat Ghoul colony scans.
You handle the Rat Ghoul research, and I'll rescue the brilliant scientist.
Not in Republic territory. I've been his file. I'm not saying trust it.
For like a month. You know what I mean? You spend like, I don't know, $1,500 on X for a month of, you know, your video boosted to be placed on ads and placed on, you know, I wouldn't want my face affiliated with pornography. So I would like a say in that. I get that. But to completely deboost and derank the quality, it's a social credit score. It's a social credit score, right? You shouldn't be deboosted. I mean, your voice should be able to be amplified to reach the maximum amount of people, because it's not about revenue. It's about, well, free speech is not about revenue. It's about free speech. So I think Elon is really going to have to define what he is and what he wants to do, because he's losing a lot of credibility with free speech absolutists on the app by doing stuff like this. And you can't get mad at anybody that's coming at you and criticizing you and calling you a hypocrite and a liar when you presented yourself as a free speech champion. And now you're coming out saying there's too much negativity succeeding on the platform. The algorithm needs to change so we can put a stop to that. We need more positive content, informational content. What kind of information is allowed in your free speech world, Elon? And that's fair. That's fair. Has Elon done a lot for the movement, done a lot for America? Of course. But that doesn't mean that, he is king and we bow to him now and you're just not allowed to criticize this guy. The hell? It's not American. That's not free speech. And so, in my opinion, this is the opposite of like this resurgency of free speech that we have been experiencing. But now it looks like it may be going backwards if Elon is going to double down on this. Because just because you don't like something and you view it as negative doesn't mean that you suppress that and keep it from reaching more people. And you can call that free speech. It's not. It's not at all. Free speech must be free speech. But again, and this is why I've been telling people, Elon's autistic, dude. He's a liberal. Elon is a liberal. Stop thinking Elon Musk is right-wing, okay? He is a liberal. In his mind, he is liberal. Straight up. Just like Joe Rogan. In his mind, he is liberal. Just like Alex Jones. Okay, Alex is a friend of mine. If I were to call Alex right now and ask, I already know what he would say. I'd ask, Alex, would you identify as a classical liberal? Not like these, these psycho pedophile green-haired weirdos, like a classical liberal. He would say yes. I know, he would say yes. And so, I think, and this is, what I talked about a couple weeks ago with the MAGA Civil Wars, is a MAGA is going to go through this identity crisis where it really has to determine whether or not it's free speech, whether or not it's right-wing. And there's going to be a whole host of several issues that are going to be on the table that will be debated, ironed out. And MAGA is either going to stick to its right-wing views at its inception, or it's going to flip center-left, I believe, as a liberal movement that criticizes and shames anybody right-wing or Christian inside that wants to hold a moral right-wing view or a right-wing view on immigration. It's already happening. It's already happening. And so, like I said, I wanted to comment on this because this is involved with Trump for obvious reasons. And what I mean by that is Elon Musk is very close to Donald Trump. And when it comes to this free speech conversation, it's just establishing it. I've been saying this for a while, is like it seems like on X there's like a new club. And if you are not severely boosted by Elon, you're not in this club. You're just not relevant, I guess. And I think now at this point, it's kind of really reaching a breaking point. And I think it's reaching critical mass, which is good. But at the same time, I think Elon would gain more credibility if he were just honest about who he is, what he believes, and what he really wants to do with X. And they were getting ready to launch X Payments, which would be your centralized, banking system. And a lot of people are having second thoughts. And I'm glad it happened because, this is how God works. God will expose you. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't advise you guys to, have X or Elon or anybody in charge of your banking, of your money. None of that, dude. None of that. I would stay the hell away from that, Especially after what's going on now. Especially after what's going on now. Because I don't like this, too much negativity going on. Hell? I thought you wanted to be based. I thought you wanted to be free speech. But now there's too much negativity going on? Well, it must be suppressed, right? Is that the answer? No different than Jack Dorsey. No different than the first regime. Twitter 1.0. But, I mean, because you really got to think this thing out. It's like, so what can you report on? What can't you criticize? What is determined negative? And so now I'm going to be deboosted in the algorithm. Like, the whole app, the world is negative. Everyone has their own interpretation of and their own definition that they apply to whatever they think is negative. You could think something is negative. I'm like, oh, that's positive. I actually like that. Especially when it comes to somebody like me, where I have this emphasis on speaking out against political correctness. I hate it. I despise it. I want to destroy it. Oh, Drew, that's so negative. You're dividing us. And then a lot of people, they start listening. They're like, you know what? I like that. I love that. I view that as positive. Because, yeah, we need to stop being like that. So what, now the Indians at X, you know, that are replacing Americans are now going to be determining what is negative? We can't criticize immigrants that are replacing Americans? Well, it's legal, dude. You know, it's like, I don't care. Why wasn't the American put first? Period. Oh, that's negative. You can't talk about that. Well, apparently, if I come out and criticize the FBI, well, that's negative too. If Trump's FBI goes rogue and goes against Trump and sets him up to kill him, what, I can't criticize that now? I can't question J13? Guess not. Guess not. Guess not. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a very interesting place. And the one thing I don't like is how, like, a billionaire is allowed to do this, but we're not. Like, oh, Elon is exposing, you know, the pedophile rings in the UK and this and that. And it's like, okay, so you get to determine what's negative and what's not. Obviously, that's negative. Obviously, that's evil. What he's exposing. And we view it as positive. But a pedophile would be like, well, that's negative for me because they're exposing the darkness of pedophilia. So like, where does this fall? And I don't like the idea that someone gets to define what is negative and what is not negative. Right? Exposing pedophiles, yes, and, you know, child sex trafficking is exposing that as positive, but what's happening is negative. But at the same time, okay, well, you get to determine that which is positive and negative. But at the same time, as I've said, it all comes down to accountability. Elon must be held accountable. Elon must be held accountable to what he claimed he wanted X to be, and where it appears he's taking to X, and this whole negative thing is just gay. Super gay, you know? It's just like, here we go. We're going back to this, I guess. You know... We were so close. We were so close. So close to have the free speech platform. But you know what? We got Rumble, chat. But you know what? We got Rumble. I'll criticize Elon Musk all I want. But if you go a little too hard on X, well, you're going to be buried and nobody can see you. You know what the funny thing is? Is I've been dealing with this since Elon even died. Like, I've figured out, you know, how to ride the waves of the algorithm here and there, and you know, there are certain things you can do. Like, you really gotta, you know, hustle to catch those waves. But some people have their X accounts just completely open, like freed up. Nothing on them. They tweet one. Dude, there are people with less followers than me. They post like one thing, and it gets like 500,000 impressions. And I have nearly 400K impressions, and if I'm lucky, I can get like 20K on the post. Every now and then, I'll get lucky and get a viral post, but like once or twice a month. So the algorithm, you know, and I've been dealing with this for a while, and I just don't understand why we couldn't have gotten to a place where everybody's account is unlocked and the shadow banning is taken away. Just focus on criminality, focused on illegal content, right? Like pedophilia, child porn, you know what I mean? Like stuff that's obviously not free speech. But I'm not sure if we'll be able to get there. And I think if anybody is unwilling to, you know, this isn't about disrespecting Elon Musk. This is about holding Elon Musk accountable. And that's fair. That's America. Because we don't like tyrants. Just because they supported our favorite politician doesn't mean all of a sudden you're God. All of a sudden you're king over the peasants. Like, what is Trump? Is Trump Elon's peasant now? I would love to ask Trump that question. I'm like, so how much are you actually like in charge of? It's like, and that's how you get Trump, you know. You gotta bruise his ego a little bit. Well, just so you know, Elon's kind of outshining you in this immigration conversation. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but I don't know how that happened. But you might want to, you know, communicate to your movement where the orange man stands on this. But like I said, at the same time, things are changing. And Trump's only going to be around in American politics fully activated for the next 4 years. He'll do some endorsements, maybe a rally here and there for those he endorsed. But this is a very necessary conversation. And I think the right wing is really going to have to separate itself. We're either going to subvert MAGA or let MAGA just go full, you know, retarded, liberal, whatever, and thinking that's somehow, you know, thinking somehow becoming that which destroyed your country from the very beginning is somehow, you know, it's like retarded, dude. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, let's just become the very thing that, you know, we found attempting to destroy our entire country. That's how we're going to win. Like, okay. But, you know, I've been having conversations. A lot of guys. We're like, you know, we're preparing for the future, man. The right wing really has to establish itself moving forward. Because if MAGA doesn't want to be right wing, bye. You know, I'm out, I guess, you know. I didn't leave MAGA. MAGA left me. It becomes like a Democrat thing, you know? Like, I didn't leave the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party left me. MAGA started right wing, dude. Okay? And so MAGA gets hijacked. It becomes this liberal, pro-homosexual, baby killer, infanticide, retardation. Oh, okay, MAGA left me, dude. I can change. I've been right wing. I've been America first, and I'll stay America first. Period. I'm not in a cult. I'm just principled. This is who I am. This is where I stand. And so I'm interested to see where this goes. Because now that Trump is about to be inaugurated, and Elon and Vivek were supposed to head Doge, now they're just kind of all over the place, which is wild to me. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, you know, okay, Trump, I guess you're just going to let this happen. These next 4 years are going to be interesting. I mean, and if Elon is going in this direction and all hell breaks loose against Trump, and there's all kinds of ops and bioweapons and assassination attempts and, you know, it just, all of it begins crashing down. Well, where's the free speech platform going to be for people to get information, news? Are you not allowed to criticize anybody? Are you not allowed to criticize anyone in the federal government during the Trump years? The next 4, like that, this is crazy if it actually goes in this direction. Really crazy. Because like I said, at the same time, Elon really needs to iron out where he stands. And I think he is. I think he is revealing himself, showing his true colors, which needs to happen. But I've always told people is, stop thinking Elon Musk is like, some right-wing Drew Hernandez, or he's just not. He's not. He's got some right-wing views, and we appreciate what he's done to help President Trump because we love Trump, but we're going to hold you accountable. We are going to hold you accountable, period. That's how this works, and that's how this is going to go. So I'm curious to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment sections or the live chat. What are your thoughts on this whole Elon situation? Who gets to decide what is negative and what is not negative? Because if you think my speech is negative, I don't care. It's my free speech. Who gives you the right to suppress what I'm saying just because you don't like it? That's the whole concept of what free speech is. It sparks debate. You can criticize those that are in power, those that have more power than you, those that have a bigger platform than you. I mean, that is the essence of free speech. And if you're not allowed to make these critiques because it's designated as negative, well, X is no different than Twitter 1.0. But again, I'm not surprised because this is what Elon said from the beginning. Freedom of speech is not freedom of reach. And I would bring this up over and over and over and over again, and people just, I think Elon is a better ally than an enemy. And I understand trying to red pill the guy and, get him on our side, but at the same time, I just think that if he's not really authentically right-wing, you're going to get this. And I think that's what's happening. At the same time, he's autistic. He obviously took it personal, and so he made it personal, and all these people are losing their check marks, organization check marks. They're losing traction on their accounts. It's a punishment. What it is. It's a punishment, and it's a signal to everybody else around that's watching that if you decide to go down this path, well, this is going to happen to you too. It's tyrannical is what it is. It's tyrannical. But like I said, this is why Elon Musk needs to be held accountable. So I just wanted to, geez, we're already 2 hours into the show. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me get to what I was going to talk about. There's just so much going on this past week since I was not live that I'm just like, I got a lot to say because it's a big deal. It's a big deal. But, so with all that said, I mean, this is why it really does matter who's around Trump. The DOJ is already moving to sabotage Trump's upcoming campaign promises to pardon the political prisoners and the J6ers, which I think they should all be pardoned. I do. I think they were set up. I think they were psyoped. I think they were lied about. I think they were attacked by police officers. I think that the Capitol police officers opened up doors to the Capitol and waved peaceful protesters in as well. Just waved them in, invited them in. And now as a result, the FBI is going after them, calling them terrorists and insurrectionists. The media is calling them terrorists, insurrectionists, designating them as right-wing domestic terrorists. A lot of these people on January 6th didn't attack police officers, didn't vandalize federal property. A lot of them walked right in because they were waved in. That's why you see the famous footage of Alex Jones, you know, yelling at people, don't go in, don't go in, don't go in, right? I mean, Owen Schroyer didn't even go in, and they found a way to come down and crack down on him as if he did. Owen went to jail over this. He went to prison over this. How many lives have been destroyed? These J6 political prisoners. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, you know, you see Trump, I want to talk about the Dreamers. I'm okay with immigrants. We want to bring the best and the brightest. H-1B, I'm totally for it, even though in 2016 he was totally against it. He was right-wing. And now on this issue, I guess he's not. I'm seeing some compromise here. And I'm telling you right now, Trump cannot compromise on pardoning the J6 political prisoners. Now, I know he's indicated that he's going to grant clemency, but that's nuanced as well, because there could be a nuance to, you know, your clemency or your pardon where, okay, you know, you're not going to be charged, but you still can't vote, you still can't own a firearm. No. This needs to be a full pardon for the J6 political prisoners. Full pardon. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because if you let them set the precedent, especially because this was clearly an op in my opinion, if you let them set the precedent and you don't set the precedent, well, now that precedent will be set forever. Forever. That they can weaponize intelligence agencies to hunt down their political opponents. They didn't only go after Trump, they went after Trump supporters. Even those that had nothing to do with January 6th. Just Trump supporters, those that are vocal, those that have big platforms, those that have big voices. I mean, I've had the feds stop my family and friends at airports, intimidate them, tell them to their face that they believe that I'm a right-wing domestic terrorist at an airport during trips. Why do you think they say that? Why do you think they would say that to my family or my friends at an airport? Why do you think they would say that? If there's a serious investigation of a terrorist going on, why would you tip off their family? No, they do that to intimidate you and psychologically mess with you in the head. A lot of us have experienced this, but back to, you know, the J6ers. The J6ers themselves, these political prisoners, they must be pardoned because this president cannot be set. And Donald Trump has the historic opportunity to reject this with a full pardon of the J6 political prisoners, because if not, this is never going to go away. And I'm not talking about their sentences and their jail time. Yes, that's important. But at the same time, this new normal of weaponized intelligence agencies going after political opponents, Trump, if Trump does not put a stop to that, if Trump does not overturn that, then he's just allowing it. He's just allowing it. And I will tell you right now, if Trump, you guys have to get loud. I'm not seeing he's pulling back on it. I haven't seen any indications. He's made it clear that on day one, pardons for the J6ers are coming. But I want to make sure that I'm, you know, this issue right here for Trump will be if he buckles on this damn thing, it's going to collapse. You know, and I don't know if he's being advised this. You know, I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying if there's anything going around in his orbit where people are attempting to convince him, you know, you shouldn't do this. It's going to, you know, harm your legacy. It's going to make you look like a criminal. You'll forever be known as the criminal president. Like, bro, you are always going to be known as that, no matter what. You are always going to be known as that no matter what. Period. Because look how quickly these people are moving. Look at this. Biden DOJ to bring charges in 200 more January 6 cases at the last minute to throw a wrench in Trump's pardon plans. So they're not letting the gas off. They're not letting off the gas. And this is why Trump needs to meet them at their level and get ready to pardon all these people. Because this deep state apparatus is not letting up at all. at all. The Biden DOJ on Monday revealed it is likely going to charge 200 more Trump supporters related to the January 6, 2021 Capitol protest. So it looks like they're going to, between now and Inauguration Day, it's looking like they are probably going to do more early morning house raids, more arrests, and destroy the lives of hundreds, about 200 more Trump supporters related to the January 6, 2021 Capitol protest. More than 1,500 J6ers, many nonviolent first-time offenders, have been charged by Merrick Garland's DOJ in the last 4 years. Biden's DOJ hunted down MAGA grandmothers and other nonviolent offenders and threw them in the D.C. gulag. Merrick Garland's prosecutors may unseal indictments at the last minute to derail Trump's plans to pardon J6 defendants. Revolver News recently floated a scenario in which the Biden DOJ unseals an indictment on the January 6 pipe bomber shortly before Trump's inauguration to throw a wrench in Trump's possible blanket pardon of J6ers. The FBI last Thursday evening released new footage of the January 6th pipe bomber after Representative Loudermilk released a report revealing that the Bureau engaged in a massive cover-up operation. And we all saw this footage when it was dropped. They know who this is. And honestly, it's probably one of their own. Why did the FBI revive its search for the pipe bomber? Is the DOJ gearing up to unseal an indictment with charges against the January 6th pipe bomber? Now, if Trump does a blanket pardon for all of the J6ers involved, he would have to reconsider because he wouldn't be able to pardon the pipe bomber. So it becomes more complicated. But we know Trump has been wanting to look at this on a case-by-case basis. Politico reported federal prosecutors are weighing charging as many as 200 more people for their involvement in the January 6th attack on the Capitol, including 60 suspected of assaulting or impeding police officers during the riot that nearly derailed the transfer of power from Donald Trump to Joe Biden. The new figures released by the Justice Department Monday reveal for the first time how many cases prosecutors believe are pending as Trump prepares to take office and threatens to unravel the massive 4-year probe. About 1,583 people have faced federal charges for their role in the attack, including more than 600 facing felony charges for assaulting or resisting police during the chaos. Though the Justice Department has released monthly statistics on the January 6th probe, the largest federal prosecution in its history, according to DOJ leaders, they literally boast about this. Monday's figures are the first time prosecutors have estimated how many uncharged cases remain. It's a signal flare to Trump, who has indicated he expects to pardon many people involved in the attack, but has repeatedly mischaracterized the status of the cases. This is from Kyle D. Cheney on X. The Justice Department revealed it is considering charges in about 200 more cases stemming from the January 6th attack on the Capitol, including 60 felony cases. That's in addition to the 1,583 already charged per brand new DOJ stats. And here's an excerpt from Politico. Though the Justice Department has released monthly statistics on the January 6th probe, the largest federal prosecution in its history, according to DOJ leaders, Monday's figures are the first time prosecutors have estimated how many uncharged cases remain. It's a signal flare to Trump, who has indicated he expects to pardon many people involved in the attack, has repeatedly mischaracterized the status of the cases. And so they are moving very quickly to come after J6ers that they claim are felony offenders, violent offenders. Let's see. I think I had some more in the Fox article as well. What was it? I'm just looking over this. Let's go to Merrick Garland. Well, let's go to this. So Reuters put out this report this morning as well. It's the anniversary of January 6th. Take a look at this. Listen to how they word this. Trump vowed to pardon J6 rioters. Here's what to know. Republican President-elect Donald Trump has promised to grant clemency to at least some of his supporters who stormed the United States Capitol on January 6th, 2021, in a failed bid to block Congress from certifying President Joe Biden's 2020 election victory. Trump has said he expects to begin doing so shortly after he is sworn in in office on January 20th, but has not been specific about how many of the more than 1,580 people charged in the attack could be granted clemency. Trump has sent mixed messages about who might get clemency. At times, he suggested many will, though he has also signaled there could be exceptions for those who got out of control. I expect he will be very quick and very broad in what he does, said John Pierce, a defense attorney who has represented more than 50 of the J6 defendants. If he does not issue essentially a blanket pardon on day one, I think he will face a lot of backlash, as he should. As he should. And this may be why the DOJ is moving to unveil their investigation on the pipe bomber, because Trump can't give him a pardon. There can't be a blanket pardon for him. So this is how they may sabotage the blanket pardon for the J6 political prisoners. Bringing Trump back to the case-by-case basis way of going about the pardons. The largest category of J6 offenders who legal experts believe are most likely to be issued pardons are the people who were charged with misdemeanor offenses such as trespassing or parading on Capitol grounds, but were not accused of any violence. Some high-profile defendants who faced only misdemeanor charges include Cowboys for Trump founder and former Republican elected official Howie Griffin of New Mexico and Rebecca Lavrenz, nicknamed the J6 praying grandma, who Trump has said was unfairly targeted by crooked Joe Biden's DOJ. In theory, Trump could issue a blanket pardon to cover all January 6 defendants who were charged or convicted of misdemeanors. And it goes on to speak about the violent offenders, the seditious conspiracy, and alleged leaders. The murkiest category of defendants who could win clemency from Trump are those who were convicted of serious crimes such as seditious conspiracy, but were not necessarily accused of violence, which would include Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes, former Proud Boys chairman Enrique Tarrio. Neither Rhodes nor Tarrio entered the Capitol on the day of the attack, but they inspired their members with violent rhetoric, and juries convicted them of plotting to overthrow the government. None of these people got a fair trial. None of them. They all had DC psychos that hate Trump and hate MAGA and would love the opportunity to throw someone with a MAGA hat on into prison for 20 to 30 years. None of these people got fair trials. All rigged juries. All biased juries. All rigged judges. All rigged prosecutors. All rigged from the very beginning. What clemency actions could Trump take? Presidents have broad clemency powers. The most well-known type of clemency is a pardon, which typically restores certain civil rights to a convicted felon such as the right to vote and to bear arms. Pardons would still be beneficial to defendants who are already out of prison after serving their sentence, such as Jacob Chansley, nicknamed the QAnon Shaman, who became the face of the attack after entering the Capitol wearing face paint and a furry horn hat. To date, the Justice Department said more than 700 defendants have either completed their prison terms or were never sentenced to incarceration. Presidents can also grant amnesty, a type of pardon that is extended more broadly to an entire class of people for certain offenses. Another option Trump could also consider is granting commutations rather than pardons to some of the J6 offenders. A commutation reduces a person's sentence but does not forgive the crime. No, that's not enough. Trump promised pardons. We don't want commutations. The clemency needs to be full pardons. I do think a full blanket pardon for all of them is tough, because if the DOJ, and listen to what I'm saying, if the DOJ comes out and they throw their Fed under the bus, J6 pipe bomber, what is Trump gonna give him a pardon too? So yeah, and then it gets political, right? And how many of their operatives did they throw under the bus? Right? That were Antifa or leftists undercover posing as Trump supporters. So Trump for sure needs to make sure that those that he does pardon are Trump supporters, are political prisoners that are clearly incarcerated, and those that were wrongfully targeted by the DOJ, their crimes need to be expunged. The crimes they've been charged with, right? And this is what Trump needs to do, because if he doesn't, he is allowing them to set the precedent. And obviously, it's just, morally wrong, because these are people that love you and that have defended you, and they're willing to go to prison for you. But at the same time, it's an indication that the DOJ is not letting up anytime soon. And this is why I'm telling people, and this is my call to Trump as well, is look, man, these people are moving in many different ways to discredit you entirely and to cause a wedge between you and your base. And when it comes to this January 6th situation, nobody in MAGA should buckle on this. Hold Trump account. If Trump does not fulfill this, the biggest backlash must come from us. Nobody else. Because this is one of the main campaign promises that he ran on, that he would pardon the J6 political prisoners. Because what this represents is it represents a weaponization of intelligence agencies and the DOJ to go after political opponents, but at the same time, it represents a clear Fed op that literally led a political opponent's supporters into a situation to where that trigger can be pulled to go after every single one of them. So this is what Trump needs to set right and undo what they've done, because it's far beyond the weaponization of the DOJ and the FBI. We're talking about an actual event that was set up by the feds in order to destroy and screw the lives of Trump supporters, setting them up into a situation